Illinois Public Media News, this is 217 Today. I'm Kimberly Schofield. It's Thursday, February 5th. Coming up, a conversation with Michelle Jett, who's running for the Democratic ticket for Champaign County Executive. That story in just a few minutes, but first, these headlines. Early voting begins today for Illinois' primary election on March 17th. In Champaign County, voters can visit the Bennett Center in downtown Urbana from 8:30 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. to cast a ballot in person. Voters can weigh in on the race for the 2nd, 13th, and 15th congressional districts. Two candidates for Champaign County Executive are also on the ballot, as well as several other uncontested races. The primary is on March 17th. That means this year the election falls during the week of spring break for University of Illinois students. More early voting locations will open the week before the primary. Last month, the U.S. officially withdrew from the World Health Organization. Now, Illinois is joining a network run by the WHO that will give public health officials access to information that could help the state respond to outbreaks and other emergencies. But U Chicago Medicine's Dr. Emily Landon says that while joining the network is a great step, it isn't a replacement for national membership.
I also think that there's still a limit as to what we can do if only part of the United States are willing to participate. Because when and if the next pandemic or large scale, high consequence pathogen comes to the United States, it's not just going to be Illinois.
Illinois is the second state to join the network. California is also a member. A Republican running for Illinois' open U.S. Senate seat says he wants lawmakers to clearly outline what ICE agents can and cannot do in the field. Casey Hlebeck immigrated from Poland as a child and has decades of working in IT. More recently, he founded a real estate management company. Speaking on the 21st show, he says the U.S. immigration system needs a complete overhaul, which will take time. So in the meantime, he thinks new laws are needed.
We have to provide the agents that are in the field, especially across the country, with powers that everybody agrees to. That's why the Congress is designed for. And let's make sure that the bill is passed that identifies with the scope of powers that they can execute.
Hlebeck is an outspoken critic of what he calls cultural Marxism. He says he believes there was a coordinated effort after World War II to infiltrate Marxist principles into American society through academia. He is one of 6 seeking the Republican Party's nomination for Illinois' open Senate seat, and this is his 3rd time running for U.S. Senate. You can find a full interview with him and many other candidates at 21stshow.org. And a reminder, the primary election for Illinois' open Senate seat is on March 17th. The U.S. Department of Education's History Rocks Trail to Independence tour is coming to Genoa High School today. Some staff and community members are concerned about safety and transparency surrounding the event. Peter Medlin has more.
The Department of Education, alongside this coalition of conservative groups like Turning Point USA, like PragerU and the Heritage Foundation. And so for this tour, they're visiting one school per state. They've been bringing speakers to discuss, they say, student leadership, civic engagement, and American history. We really don't know who the national level speakers are going to be at this event. Safety is the other piece of this. This is an event that's only for staff, students, and parents. And so the signing up for this event was actually on a Google form, and there was some concerns from the union that anyone could sign up for this. A part of this is also that the event is scheduled for 2:30, which is when classes just get out, and the buses don't get to the school for the next half hour. So even though it's an optional event, the students who don't want to go are kind of stuck in or around the school. And if there's protesters and there's kids stuck there who don't want to be there, it could cause a chaotic scene.
That was Peter Medlin reporting on today's visit by the U.S. Department of Education's History Rocks Trail to Independence tour. Still to come, a conversation with Michelle Jett, who's running for the Democratic ticket for Champaign County Executive. That story is coming up next on 217 Today, but first, meteorologist Andrew Pritchard with your forecast.
I'm meteorologist Andrew Pritchard with your IPM News forecast for Champaign-Urbana. Today, look for mostly cloudy skies with a chance of flurries and a high of 29 degrees, with a southwest wind 5 to 10 miles per hour. Tonight, mostly cloudy with a chance of flurries and a low of 22 degrees. Southwest wind 5 to 10 miles per hour. Tomorrow, snow flurries in the morning, otherwise mostly cloudy with a high of 38 degrees. A west wind 5 to 15 miles per hour. Tomorrow night, partly cloudy with a low of 12 degrees. North wind 5 to 15 miles per hour. And for Saturday, mostly sunny with a high of 24 degrees and a north wind 5 miles per hour.
Next time on the 21st show, enduring winter is a rite of passage in the Midwest. We'll talk about the stretch of really cold weather we've been enduring, but we're also seeing our changing climate giving us a new set of experiences. So we'll try to make sense of Midwest winters, past and future. I'm Brian Mackey. That's next time on the 21st show. Join us at 11 a.m. on AM 580 and 6 p.m. on FM 90.9.
You're listening to 217 Today. I'm Kimberly Schofield. Early voting in Champaign County starts today, and Democrats here will choose from two candidates for county executive, Michelle Jett and Sanford Hess. The Champaign County Executive is responsible for day-to-day operations of the county administration. IPM Student Newsroom's Lilina Zarva spoke with both candidates about why they're interested in this role. Here's a conversation with Michelle Jett.
Many of our listeners know you from your work as Director of Administration in the County Executive Office. Could you tell us more about yourself and why you want to become the next Champaign County Executive?
Absolutely. I am a lifelong resident of Champaign County, born and raised here, graduated from Centennial. My family is here, and I very much enjoy the diversity and the culture we have here. I have been so lucky to have spent the last 3 years working with current County Executive Steve Summers in the County Executive's office. We've done some really amazing projects. We're currently working on increasing green energy in Champaign County. We are working on making sure all of the ARPA money, the almost $20 million allocated to community groups, is being spent before the end of the year, which is the federal deadline. And we're improving the work culture for all of our 500-plus employees. And I think we're really seeing the benefits of that starting to pay off. So the main reason I'm running for county executive is I want to make sure that we keep those projects moving forward. We've made a lot of progress in the last 3 years. I don't want to see it go backwards. And most importantly, though, I'm really concerned about what's happening on the federal level. And I want to do my part to make sure that the chaos and disruption and, frankly, hatred that is being perpetrated in the federal level does not make its way into Champaign County.
How does your experience in local administration influence your approach to this role?
My experience influences my approach in what I've seen can happen on the local level. So I served for 4 years for our local state representative as chief of staff. So I know state politics quite well and state processes before coming to the county. And the things that just a determined individual can accomplish in their local government are, it's difficult to describe. And I really wish more people would understand it, even though I'm doing a terrible job of describing it right now, because if they see an issue that they want to address and they go to their local legislators, their local government, and they go with a plan and they go with determination, they can make a change. They can absolutely pass a resolution, pass an ordinance, pass a law. It's not easy, but it's doable, and that's how we get things done. And that's what I want to make sure the county executive continues to facilitate and continues to provide resources to local voters, again, constituents, residents, to affect the change that they're looking for in their community.
Looking ahead, what do you think is the greatest challenges Champaign County will face in the next few years, or maybe is already facing? And how do you think the county leadership should prepare and address these issues?
I think the biggest one is Champaign County is a growing community, which is not the norm kind of right now, but our population continues to grow. We continue to build new homes, and all of that increases the demand on the services that the county provides. And the county provides services that no one else provides. We're the only ones that do the court system. We're the only ones that do the probation system. We're the only ones that have a jail. We're the only ones that do the taxing cycle for all property taxes. these services are crucial not only for individuals, but for every single government body in the county. And we are just seeing a continued increase in not only the volume of people who need service, but the complexity of issues, the complexity of laws, the complications that come with those, and then having to adapt our processes not only to changes, but then also, again, increased demand in those services. It's a lot. And so for us, I think our biggest challenge is how do we continue to meet that demand? How do we continue to meet the changes? And how do we afford all that?
And finally, for those voters who are still evaluating their choice, what's one thing you would like them to understand about how you would lead as county executive?
I would say that when making your decision for county executive, I'm really concerned about what's happening federally. And my biggest commitment is that we are doing everything on the local level to keep that out of Champaign County, to protect our immigrant friends and neighbors, to protect our social services, to protect our freedom and our right, to make sure that our elections are fair and accessible. And I think that whoever is in this position should be very clear, very transparent, and very upfront on where they stand on those issues, because those are really important, crucial issues right now, and the voters have a right to know if they're voting for someone that considers that stuff to be critical and a priority, or they don't, and I do.
That's Michelle Jett, who's running for the Democratic ticket for Champaign County Executive. She spoke with IPM Student Newsroom's Layli Nazarva. Jett is running against Sanford Hess. You can catch our interview with Hess tomorrow on Morning Edition or on the 217 Today podcast. Early voting in Champaign County starts today, and the primary election takes place March 17th. That's it for today. 217 Today is produced by Juliana Means. Reporting today contributed by Arjun Tucker, Layli Nazarva, Miriam Kramer, Christine Herman, and Peter Medlin. Music by the Kilborn Alley Blues Band. Reginald Hardwick is our news director. I'm Kimberly Schofield. 217 Today is a production of Illinois Public Media. Thanks for listening, stay safe, and we'll talk to you again tomorrow.